Hey guys, what's up? It's Dave, and I need to talk to you guys about a new diagnosis that I have received. It's all good, nothing too serious, but I need to get a tripod because my arm's gonna get tired talking to y'all for this long. All right, guys, welcome to my couch. Yeah, I had to get a mic because I'm kind of far away from my camera, but yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me well. I even have a script. For this video just to make sure that I stay on track. Meds don't cure everything. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to tell you guys that I have been officially diagnosed with ADHD. Surprised? So I'm not, neither is my wife. Excuse me. But yeah, I ended up talking with the psychiatrist, I think last week or maybe a week and a half ago. We had 2 appointments. He asked a lot of questions about my childhood up into adulthood, things about, getting frustrated easily, jumping from one thing to another, short attention span. There's a whole lot of questions, and there's actually a good book that he recommended I read, and I'll let y'all know about it because there's a lot of questions in that book, and it's by an official doctor, not just a self-help person. So if you see me looking over here, this is where I have my script to make sure that I stay on track. But yeah, anyways, the psychiatrist that I met with was over MD Live. It's an app that we have through Molly's insurance, and it is an online doctor. And because it's online doctor, they can only do certain things. They can't prescribe like stimulants and stuff like that for ADHD, but they can prescribe other things that are still beneficial. So once I had the initial conversation with the psychiatrist, he gave a questionnaire to Molly, gave a questionnaire to me. Molly and I both filled that out independently. I didn't ask her to see what the questions were. I asked her just to fill it out. And then I did look at them afterwards, and I just laughed because I'm like, yep, that's all true. And then we sent it to the doctor. I met with him, and then he ended up telling me, yeah, you have ADHD. You do have ADHD. And he then gave me some options, which the first thing, well, not even options, he just gave me some suggestions and then included medicine within that. So the first thing he said is there's a book called Taking Charge of Adult ADHD. I looked it up. It's by Russell A. Barkley, PhD. So this is a doctor. And I've read 5 chapters already within a day, which is amazing for me because usually I read about maybe 1 chapter and then I'm like, this is good, but I need to go do something else. So I've started reading that book. There's a lot of good questions in there. A lot of the questions that he asked me were in that book. And then the next thing he suggested was make sure you get plenty of exercise, plenty of sleep. I have been getting a lot of sleep lately because I've been sleeping in later and then staying up later because of the whole unemployment situation. Naturally, I'm a night owl and then I get up later. But when I work, I usually still am a night owl and then I get up early and don't get a lot of sleep. So that's going to have to change once I start working again. He also said exercise. Molly and I started working out yesterday. We started doing some walks actually. Today I want to get into our garage and do some weights. But it was so much easier to want to do it after I got on the meds, which that's the next thing that he spoke about. So as far as meds, he said there's some supplements that I could try first if I wanted to, because not everyone wants to try meds right away. But the book that I was reading said a lot of people will try supplements, and then within about 6 months, they're like, hey, I want to try the meds too. And what he did tell me is that if I try the supplements with the meds, then I would probably not to be on as high of a dose of the medicine because the supplements would help. And he wasn't like one of those guys that's like, take all these supplements and they're all going to work. He was not like that at all. He basically said, hey, there's a lot of stuff on the internet, but these 3 are the only ones that we have seen some type of evidence that they do help ADHD. And so the first one was omega-3 fatty acids / fish oil. I think they're kind of the same thing, same capsule. He did give me a specific dosage of 1,200 milligrams for that one. So I'm taking that. Molly already had that. Magnesium and zinc. And with those, he just said, take what's on the bottle, what the bottle suggests that you take. So the things that I take are 1 a day. But Molly had magnesium already, and then we went out and bought zinc yesterday. And then as far as medicine, like actual drugs from the pharmacy, he said Wellbutrin, or I think it sounds like Spectera. I could be wrong, but it sounded like Spectera. I asked him about what the costs were, which one would be better. He said they're kind of similar, but Wellbutrin has a generic and I only had to pay $10 for that. So we went with that, and I picked that up yesterday, and yesterday was the first day that I actually took it, and oh my gosh, it's like I had a Rolodex in my head, in my brain, that was just constantly flipping, looking at different names, and look at those names as like ideas or things that I needed to do, and it was just constantly flipping. With these meds, I feel like the Rolodex finally stopped, like slowed down, and so that I can focus on things that need to get done in that moment. And it's not like, hey, I got to do this right now. It's kind of like what needs to get done, and then I'll do it. And it's not as hard. Like, it's not as hard to do things. Like in the past, whenever I would do stuff, I could do it for like, maybe if I wasn't interested in it, maybe like 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is boring. I got to go do something else. And the only way that I could really like hunker down and get stuff done is when it got pushed to like the last minute, where I'm just like, all right, cool. I have a week and I have to get this out in a week, so I have to get it done. And that pressure cooker would then kind of make me sit down for hours to get things done. And then I would go into that hyper focus mode. But that's what I'm doing so far. So I'm reading that book. I have the supplements that I'm taking, and I'm taking Wellbutrin. They can't, like I said, they can't do stimulants, because stimulants you have to meet with an actual in-person doctor. You can't do it online, and that's just the law that they have out there. That's just part of the deal. Which right now, if I don't have to take stimulants, then like that's cool. I'd rather do something that's not as stimulating, and we'll go that route and see if it works. And by the way, I do meet with him in I think in about a month. Meet with the psychiatrist again to kind of see how things are going. If we have to take a different route by then we'll take a different route. But I wanted to tell you guys next about, like, besides being able to read a book, being able to read 5 chapters like in one sitting. Like yesterday, I started working in the kitchen. I was like, oh, the kitchen needs to get clean. And Molly came in from outside like 20 minutes later, and I was almost done with it, which typically cleaning the kitchen is like a chore. Like I said, it's like a mental thing. Like mentally, it is exhausting, because I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm doing it. Oh my gosh, but I don't want to do it for more than 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And so I would, Molly said that sometimes I would leave water running, and because I was like, oh, I need to go get the trash. And I would just jump from idea to idea to idea. Now I don't do that. She walked in from outside and she was like, oh man, you got this done fast. And I was like, yeah. And then she knew that I had just taken the medicine not too long ago. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, like this is what's happening. This is what's working. So yeah, it's that was like the first thing. And then yesterday I got her bed made. This morning, yesterday I did all this laundry. What else did I do? We had this pile of blankets in our room that needed to be put up. I'm like, that needs to get done. I started taking all the blankets out. I organized them, put some in our closet, put some into this little closet like thing in our room. Just organized and got things put away. But just things that's normal stuff, right? Like, but I was able to get it done, and it was amazing yesterday. What else did I want to tell you guys? Another big thing that was in this book, actually, it asked if you jump from job to job, and I'm like, yeah, I usually say at a job like maybe 1, 2, at the max like 3 years. And there are some good reasonings for some of the jobs that I left, because of layoffs, or the rumor of layoffs, and then layoffs actually happening after I left. So, a lot of those situations worked out, but it is also an ADHD trait that you don't stay at a job that long because you get bored. It's just kind of like, I've been doing this for a year. I'm doing the same thing. It's not stimulating anymore. I need to do something else. And so I'm hoping with the next job that I get that I will stay there for a lot longer. And even if it's not a stimulating my brain type of environment, I can focus and get things done, and build some type of something at a job now, like not necessarily loyalty, but just like some camaraderie, working with people, stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. Like the main thing, like I said earlier, is that it's not hard to do stuff. It's not mentally exhausting. Like at the end of the day, I'd want to do other stuff, but like work was so mentally exhausting because of me trying to focus to get things done that I had like no energy for anything else. Like I had no energy to want to go for a walk, to go work out, to work on like a YouTube video. It was just like I was tired, like my mind was shot. And I feel like with this, like it slows everything down to where I can focus on what needs to get done and get it done, and then move on to the next thing. And like, and ADHD, I'm not saying ADHD is like some type of like evil, it's a bad thing. There's also good things about ADHD, like usually, like creativity is usually a good thing that comes out of it, hyper focus when you're super interested in something. But there's other things that I have to get done that ADHD doesn't really allow me to get done. So it's nice to have these mechanisms, like these medicines that I can take. And then in the book, it's been talking about like ways that you can compensate for certain things, like working from home is a big thing for ADHD people because they don't do well in these big open environments because of all the distractions that happen at work. And I can attest to that because I used to be on phone calls with colleagues that would be in the office, and all I could hear is conversations from their coworkers that were around them, and I couldn't focus on what my coworker was saying because my brain is trying to follow every single conversation that I hear in the background. That's also something that when I did work at an office, I worked in an open office before, and there's like so many distractions because everyone is around you. You hear everyone's conversation. Someone behind you talking about something, you hear that and you pick up on it. And even though you want to get your work done, your mind's like, what are they saying? What are they talking about? Some people will be like, oh, that's being nosy. I don't want to be. Like, I want to get stuff done, but I couldn't get it done because my mind's like, oh, what's that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear this? Did you see that? So working from home has been a really good thing for me as far as being able to focus better and get things done. So I'm hoping whenever I get a new job, because a lot of new jobs are going to this hybrid model, that when I'm at the office, I can do more engaging things with coworkers, because that would be helpful because it'll, spark my like, oh, cool, I want to work with this person and let's get things done. And this is fun versus like, I'm going to sit down and try to get some work done, but I'm going to hear everyone else's conversations and phone calls and click-clacks on the keyboard and stuff like that. Like, those are all distractions to me. So that's something that I'm going to have to talk with whoever I get hired with as something that hopefully they can help me out with. Like, I'm not saying it has to be my way. I have to work from home. I would like to be in the office too. Sorry guys, my iPad closed out. But there is things that I'm going to have to just like boundaries, I guess I'm going to have to set to make sure that I can get things done appropriately. But anyways, why I wanted to share this all with you. Firstly, I like to be transparent with everyone that has subscribed to our channel, to all of our friends out there. I want you to kind of know, like, this is my life vlog. This is my family's life vlog, and this is part of our life. Like, I have ADHD, and this is how I'm going to cope with it, and this is what I'm taking. And then the other part is that if you are having similar issues, or even if it's not ADHD, if it's depression, if it is anxiety, anything like that, go get help. Like, get help. There's nothing bad in asking for help, because it has just been a life changer. In just one day, there's been such a big turnaround with me to be like, cool, I can get stuff done now. And typically too, with ADHD, they say most of the time there's like two type of things going on, like ADHD and anxiety, or ADHD and autism, ADHD and bipolarism. So I don't know if I have any of the other stuff, but for sure right now it is ADHD. Might be some anxiety in there too, just because of family history. But if you have issues, there's nothing wrong with having issues, guys. So just get help. If there's something that is bothering you to where you can't get stuff done, talk to a psychiatrist. Listen to good friends and family that want to help you. If people are hitting you over the head, like trying to bash you, that you can't get anything done, don't listen to that. Ignore that and go talk to a psychiatrist and get help that way. Because there's stuff out there that can be done to help people like us. And if you're not on that end, if you're a family member and you notice that you have family that might need help, encourage them to be like, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. Talk to a psychiatrist. I'll go with you. Like, my wife was involved, and I loved that she was involved and that she pushed me to get this done. It's something that I'd been wanting to do, but she was like, hey, just do it. You're off. Like, you're not working right now. And so I did it, and it paid off. It's totally awesome. But anyways, let me make sure nothing else on my notes. I think we're all good, guys. But yeah, that was really it. I have to get ready to go with Molly's grandma's going to go take us out to lunch here in a bit. But I want to make this quick video, throw it out on YouTube, and just say, love you guys. And if you need help, go get help. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you have ADHD, what works for you? Resources. I've been looking for tons of resources just to kind of have better understanding about things, because I'm pretty sure more than likely, from what I've understood, it's a genetic thing. And so my kids could probably get it. I think a couple of them might already have it already. But anyways, y'all hit me up in the comments. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. And thanks to the new subscribers on our channel. And I will see y'all on the next video. Later. Bye.